Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Cloning. It may seem as if it's science fiction, but scientists have been able to successfully clone several types of animals for some time now, the most famous being Dolly the sheep. A couple of Chinese scientists even recently figured out how to clone a monkey. This monkey, according to scientists, is the first ever cloned primate. But many conspiracy theorists believe that scientists have been cloning people for years, and not just anybody. They believe that some of your favorite celebrities have been cloned as well. And according to some celebrities, this isn't a conspiracy theory, this is a fact. They claim the government has cloning centers hidden around the US with clones of your favorite celebrities, politicians, and world leaders. Follow Up TV as we finally discover the real truth about human cloning and cloning centers. My name is Devin Worlds, and this is Attack of the Clones.
Would you condone a human clone? This week, Chinese scientists revealed they cloned 2 healthy monkeys using the same technique that made Dolly the sheep in 1996. This is huge because obviously they're insanely adorable. But also this method has worked to clone mice, frogs, pigs, and cows, but never primates. In other words, they've broken a barrier that puts them one step closer to human cloning. Which begs the question, do we need another me? Huh? All right. And who would you clone if you could? How about President Trump? He can make all countries great again. Yeah. Or what about Lou Dobbs? He could host all shows on every channel at the same time. Or maybe Hillary Clinton. Wait, stop. On second thought, cloning is a bad idea and should be banned forever. Would you want a clone of yourself out in the world?
First, there's 2 Trumps.
Okay.
The one in the red tie is the real one. The one in the blue tie is not. The one you saw last night after the victory was the blue tie. Now, if you would punch up Dr. Carson, Ben Carson, when Trump called him a pedophile, and the next day he joined Trump. And the guy asked him, see, every now and then you slip and say something? He said, why'd you do that? He said, it's 2 Trumps. I was with the good one. You see it there?
There are 2 different Donald Trumps. There's the one you see on the stage, and there's the one who's very cerebral, sits there and considers things very carefully. You can have a very good conversation with him. And that's the Donald Trump that you're going to start seeing more and more of right now.
I think there are 2 Donald Trumps. There's the public version, and people see that, and I don't know what they see exactly, but it seems to have worked over my lifetime. But it's probably different, I think, than the personal Donald Trump. I think Ben would say that. Ben said it very well today. So perhaps there are 2 Donald Trumps.
What was that yesterday? What was that? That was like a tale of 2 Trumps. That was like the worst of lies and the best of lies. It was like, I don't know, a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, a Tootsie.
In the late 1800s, the first clones were created by a man named Hans Dreisig. It was never his intention to create an identical species, but to simply prove that genetic material was not lost during cell division. Sea urchins have extremely large embryo cells and grow independently from their mothers, so for Dreisig, it made the most sense to use this animal in his first experiment. He took the embryo from a sea urchin and shook it in a bucket full of salt water until the 2 cells separated. Keeping an eye on the split embryo, he began to notice that they have grown independently of each other into 2 separate sea urchins. Fast forward into the future about 100 years, another man by the name of Hans Spemann used a piece of hair from his son to separate a 2-celled embryo of a salamander. This experiment was a success. The split embryo grew into its own separate salamander. Spemann did a few more tests with smaller salamander embryos and then proposed what he called a fantastical experiment. His fantastical experiment was to remove genetic material from an adult and use it to grow another adult. This was the first ideal of human cloning. So, from the early 1900s to 2018, the question everyone is wondering is, does human cloning already exist? Some people believe so, including myself, but don't take my word for it. Many of your favorite celebrities believe so. Here is rapper B.O.B. breaking down the truth about human cloning.
So look, the cloning shit is not what you think it is. It's not as simple as, well, why would somebody want to clone that nigga? What that nigga got? If you understand how the physical world is a reflection of the spiritual world, and you start fucking with the DNA and shit, you understand that you're tapping into some other shit. You're like ripping a portal open on some shit. The movie Boys of Brazil, even the movie Congress, she agrees to give them her image. They like scan her or some shit, and then she goes into this digital world. So everything is connected, and they need the influential people to maintain the mind control and how they program your subconscious mind to respond to things. And they need these influential leaders to trigger your mind control, to trigger your trauma, basically trigger your trance.
A lot of people that found out about this cloning stuff find it very frightening. And yes, it is scary. And a lot of that fear comes from the fact that we've been programmed to believe that we're the only sentient beings on the planet. On the plane. Some people ask me, if the Earth is flat, man, like, are the other planets flat? Are the stars flat too? You can't hold on to old, obsolete beliefs that you've been taught. Like, everything that you've been taught is a lie. It's programming. Shouts out to all the people who bought telescopes and who got, the cameras with the super zoom so you can actually see it for yourself. You can see this for yourself. I also get asked a lot, am I a clone? From my understanding, Donald has seen a clone of me in the cloning center. I am memory suppressed, however, I do have memories of what fit the description of the cloning center and the arena. Some people say, are you controlled opposition? Why are you just now talking about cloning? Why are you just not speaking up on these things? You're right to think that, but take this into consideration. If you're familiar with my song Missing, Dr. Aiden, The Watchers, my New Black mixtape, you know that this is not my first time speaking out. I'm just now learning about cloning. Like, I just found out about it a couple months ago, and I was scared as fuck. When I first found out about cloning, I was fucking terrified. Like, supernatural shit was happening around my house. I was jumping out of my sleep, seeing shit. I got all types of knives and guns hanging out of my mattress and my pillows and shit. Like, I had to beef up my security. I was really scared for my life. I literally had to face the fear of death. I thought that when I spoke out about cloning, they were gonna kill me. Like, I swear to God, on mom. The first time that I contacted Donald, there was a tremendous amount of interference. The footage got distorted. There were helicopters and planes and shit flying over my house. Airplanes. That song was written and produced before I ever got a hold of it. It was actually intended for Lupe. Y'all gotta understand how this shit work in this industry. Like, this shit is all set up. Like, talk to Lupe about airplanes. He'll tell you. Shouts out to Lupe. And also, too, y'all need to pay attention to these other celebrities when they're leaving hints. They're leaving clues all over the place. Everybody can't talk. Everybody can't talk because, they got kids or, they made some type of agreement. But pay attention. Everybody who's in this shit or who's in this industry or who has a clone is not evil or malicious. Some people just got born into this shit, like me. So, I'm still here alive. I don't know why. I don't know why I can talk. Maybe it's because I have some type of amnesty. Or maybe it's because somebody extremely, extremely close to me is a Mason and I'm protected in that sense. I don't know. But if they wanted to do something with me, I wouldn't have even gotten this far to telling y'all about cloning. So to the people telling me, Bob, I fear for your life, y'all don't worry. I'm in good hands. Just continue spreading the word.
When rapper B.O.B. speaks about the first time he contacted a man named Donald, he was referring to a man named Donald Marshall. Donald Marshall wrote a pretty lengthy letter to the public about everything he knows about human cloning. In this letter, Mr. Marshall makes a lot of bold claims. He starts off the letter by saying this is no hoax, this is no joke. He explains that he has been cloned by a secretive cult known as the Freemasons, the Vril Society, and Scientologists, and together they call themselves the Illuminati. He claims they make replicated bodies of people to victimize in terrible ways. They clone children from men with underdeveloped penises to have sex with. He goes on to say that the political people started bringing movie stars and musicians there to hang around with them, only because they know they can control who remembers the cloning facility and who will remain oblivious, even though not remembering still damages you. Donald writes that it was basically a torture and child molesting factory. I was one of those children, but when I was young, to keep the perverts off of me, I started singing songs, original songs, very good ones. They told me to keep making these songs and I wouldn't get hurt, and so I did. Then they started bringing me there every day for songs. As the celebrities wanted more, they called me the goose that laid the golden egg. But I ran out of ideals. Then the torture began. They smashed my face to start, throwing me around, scaring me, a 5-year-old, never letting me remember in real life until I turned 30. The torture worsened until I was being stabbed and burned and repeatedly sodomized. At age 30, they allowed me to remember these clone memories, and now every time I enter REM sleep, I am there. I don't have dreams, only clone memories. They made the movie The Island and Inception about this subject. They think they're very sly and untouchable. Donald even says that one good person there was comedian and actor Bernie Mac.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
He says that Bernie Mac tried to speak up for him, saying it's not right to do a human being like this. In his letter, Donald said that Queen Elizabeth and Philip had Bernie Mac tortured so bad there as an example of their power, he had an aneurysm the next day and died. Now, no one will speak up. They're all afraid of suffering the same fate. Here is Donald Marshall explaining more about human cloning and cloning centers.
It's about those reptilian shapeshifters that David Icke talks about. He's kind of got the story wrong. They're not dimensional at all. They're this dimension. And yeah, they're not spiritual, mystical, or anything. It's pretty sick. But I'll tell you about that in a second. First, I wanted to tell you about the cloning stuff, okay? Now, human cloning, I have to tell you, it's been done since at the end of World War II, okay? I'll tell you how they got it, and the whole shebang, like 33rd degree Freemason knowledge. I'm probably going to die for this somewhere along the lines. It's not good. Okay. Picture this, a memory request about everything. Couldn't remember anything. I was still getting side effects from this. As memory request about the cloning stuff until I was 30 years old. They call it the awakening when they give you back the memories. Turns out they had me there since I was 5 years old, okay? And my family is there, my family members and everything, and they said they're not going to lie on a lie detector test about it. It's pretty big. Like, they were going to kill me, they said. Thing is, the way that this cloning works, okay, there's two different kinds of cloning, and it confuses people. Now, there's replication cloning, where it comes up as a baby, right? Put the cells in, make the same person as a baby. Well, there's duplication cloning as well, where they grow you in a big, thick tank full of water. And, well, there's a few different grades of cloning. There's Mark 1 to 4 that I know of. And the problem I'm having is with the Mark 2. The thing is, Mark 1 was around at the end of the World War II, but it was a primitive clone, lots of side effects. Anyway, this is even on the net. Before I started blasting on the net about this, somebody said something about the Mark 1 to 4 clones, and the first one being called the organic robotoid. And that's what it was called, even though there's no robotic parts in it at all. Anyway, Mark II is an REM-driven clone. Okay, now what that means is when you go to sleep, the Illuminati, this is their main form of communication too. They don't call people on the phone. They don't meet at the Bohemian Grove anymore. Since they got cloning, they meet at the cloning station when they go to sleep. Each of them, I don't know how they do it exactly, okay, or else I'd know how to block it. But they can transfer your consciousness into a clone at the cloning station if they have a clone of you. And they used to have to use a tissue sample from you, or I guess they said the cells from a woman's pap smear is like really rich in the cells to make one of these duplicate clones. They used to use kids' foreskins that were discarded at the hospital that got removed. That's what happened to me. But now they said they've upgraded the technology in the last 10 years, so now they only need blood. What they used to do with the tissue, well, they could also, they used to set this little oil drill looking thing over a person's forearm, strap their arm to a chair. And this drill, it had things on it that opened up, right? Now, it would go in, and when it spun, these things would open up. But then when it stopped, the things would close again. Now this is done, it goes in, comes out, in, comes out. And what it was doing, it has to agitate the tissue, they told me when I was a kid, to a certain degree. I guess, like they said, the easiest way to tell a person in layman's terms about it is, you know, when you have a hangnail and you pull it off, and the white stuff that accumulates inside, and eventually it'll form like a scab and new skin, and it'll grow over. Well, to get that white stuff to really work good, they agitate the tissue a certain amount of times. Now they just agitate blood from like a blood sample even. And yeah, cloning is very prevalent. It's like a secret thing among the like elite. They use it for their crazy stuff. You name it, they've done it. Like jump off cliffs, everything. I know all about it. The thing was, when I was memory repressed, I was seeing other people becoming unmemory repressed, and I hated this place and these people. It's a bunch of scumbags doing nasty things to each other, right? Like, there's privileged ones there, and there's underprivileged ones there, and so people are pretty mean on people, and, well, I wanted them to do the awakening on me so I could go to the cops and get the cops on them. Well, the thing is, they are the cops, too. Like, this is the linchpin in how the Illuminati NWO works, because like most of the leaders from the G20 countries go there, about 14 of the G20 countries, and then there's leaders from countries that don't even fit in the G20 that go there too, right? And cloning, it's really normal. Well, Britney Spears made a video about this place, because thing was, to get advertised and promoted and stuff, she had to basically sell her clone, use of her clone at the cloning center. So the thing was, she signed up right away thinking, yeah, sure, I'll be famous. Well, thing is, they wanted to use her every night. Old men and stuff, old men and clones on her, and real people on her clones too. So she doesn't have dreams anymore. Oh, they make songs and stuff about this all the time, about stuck in the dreams, and Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street is based on this. Avatar is based on this too.
That's like a new movie and stuff.
Baby, that movie is, I watched it fucking 4 months ago on DVD.
Where have I been?
Over here. You've been on tour.
I'm confused because I feel like I've been missing out.
Missing out on what?
On life.
I really don't think that that's the truth.
You think this is what I have to talk about.
Okay.
I feel like I've been missing out on life.
Like what part of life?
Life. Like things going on. Like I feel like I'm behind or something. I know that sounds so weird.
In 2004, Britney Spears secretly wrote an album called The Original Doll and released a song without her record label's permission. This song was called Mona Lisa, which was about a girl who had been cloned.
Yeah, No wonder the fucking record label didn't want anybody to hear it. What the fuck, Britney Spears? You're talking about being cloned? What does that mean? Well, Britney Spears didn't care that they didn't want people to hear it. She literally went to a radio station in 2004, walked down the street with her dog, went in the building, knocked on the door, and said, I want you to play my song. So the DJ that was on the radio that day, his name was Jesse, and he just did an interview talking about it, and this is what he said. They told me Britney Spears was on the phone and that she wants us to play her new song. Usually you don't believe stuff like that, but an hour later, the singer was outside the radio station with a bodyguard, her chihuahua, and a CD in her hand. So she went to the station, they played the song, and the record label lost their shit. And after that, legally, she wasn't allowed to put out any of that music. Now, some of the employees that worked at her record label at the time said this: "We were unfamiliar with the album. Original Doll was never scheduled internally." It kind of makes you wonder. I wonder what was on that album. I wonder what secrets she talked about. What was so crazy that they did not want us to hear it? Well, just to go back to the cloning thing for a second, a few years after that, she released a music video, and the video was about her being cloned. Yeah, it's literally about her being in a cloning center. I mean, how many hints is she gonna drop?
They do it all the time, communicate this way. But the thing is, cloning is a flawed technology this way, because your mind isn't the same. You're more, it's kind of like, you know, how, did you ever see Pet Sematary by Stephen King, the movie?
Yeah.
Where they bury it and they come back whack? Well, they're almost as bad as that. And this is only one aspect of what they do. This is the biggest expose on the Illuminati guys ever, what they do secret, right? Because the thing being, how I know is because I acted very loyal to them when in my 20s, right? Well, the thing was, if you don't act compliant there, they will beat the hell out of your clone, and it hurts just like real life, right? Like this, and they can turn it up to the pain threshold on a remote control. They have everything down, and people are scared to talk about this because of the lizard aspect and the fact they can just keep cloning you and torturing you and torturing you and torturing you. New body, new body, new body, because they make multiples of people. Some people are grown in the tank with deformities, and they just scrap those ones, throw them in the chipper. But the other ones, they keep them for backup bodies until they wear out the first one. Sex-wise, you know, I'm not trying to be vulgar or anything, but they do a lot of vulgar stuff there. They can also, if they apply a constant electronic current to your clone, you will have an aneurysm. If you're younger, it'll take a little bit longer with the electric current, but you will have an aneurysm. And that's what happened to Tila Tequila. She doesn't want to say that, though. The thing is, Tila Tequila was threatened not to talk about it. She was helping me for a minute. Are you familiar with Tila Tequila?
I've had her on the show, and in fact I was just discussing her this morning with James Wright, who's exposing the Freemasons, and he said that he wanted to meet up with her and compare war stories and stuff like that, so I just introduced them this morning, as it turns out.
Well, Tila has a clone running at the cloning center, and she has to, well, she pretty much sold it out for her shot at love thing. She doesn't want me to discuss the nefarious deeds that she's done at the cloning station, including to me, and well, and I'm not really going to, because that's her business and all right, but well, I might discuss the stuff she did to me at a later date, a different show or something. It doesn't really matter right now. I'm trying to stick to the important stuff, but she's there. She's making like hinty little posts about her, she bounces to the 5th dimension. She used to think it was the 5th dimension. Should they tell people this, right? Because you open up your eyes there. You're like, where the hell am I? And you look at your hands, you're like, did you guys kidnap me? That's what most people say. Am I kidnapped or something? How did I get here? Some people are drugged, so they think that it's a dream, or they're in the astral realm. That's what they tell people, right? The spirit realm. Depends on who you are, where you're from. That's what they tell you. And people just believe it because it's like real, right? Slap them in the face, it hurts, and you don't wake up, so it's not a dream, and man, it's not good.
So I thought, well, this will give me like a couple minutes to talk to you guys about the New World Order. We made it to heaven, and oh, so cool. So yeah, hey guys, It's me. I'm not shape-shifting today. People who are getting confused about this being a clone of me, actually it's not. This is the real me, and it's always been the real me. The one that you remember from Hollywood is actually, that was the clone of me. So, while she was out there being my clone and fooling everybody, I was trapped over here. And you guys were over there, Earth 1, but I've always stayed here on Earth 2.
So anyway, I wanted to not attend these clone gatherings, and they were like, we'll bring you here if we want to. I was like, all right, well, I'll tell all on you. And I'm doing it on my Facebook page. I don't have the link up here, but you're on my Facebook page somewhere, I think. So I don't know if you have the link to show people or not, but yeah, I'm telling all about them, what they do there, and there's other stuff. Now, they have these clone parties, okay? Oh, and also they get, I'll just tell you flat out, because they showed me, they call it the catalog. They get the school pictures from schools all over North America, and they look at the cutest ones, and they get the medical stuff from them and clone them and use them for sex slaves. Not without the parents' permission, and it doesn't really matter if they had permission or not, right? You know. But this is what they do. I'm just telling you the severity of what they do there, right? Like, trust me, I am not a crackpot. Like, and I don't get anything from this. I'm not writing a book or looking to write a book. I'm looking to crush these people. But the problem is, they're the richest and most powerful people in the world, and I'm just one person, right? So
you said that they've got a facility. Do you know where that facility is? Is there an address or a building? Or?
Yes. Well, they're in deep bases, right? Like this Dulce or Dulce base. It has an entire floor devoted to cloning, okay? Now, it also has another floor devoted to gene splicing. You should see some of the stuff I've seen. Beaver, rats, and all kinds of stuff. They're trying to make weapons for war, and they showed me everything. They thought I was loyal. They started showing me everything. They totally thought I was loyal. Like, oh, my ex-family will not speak to me now. I said, I'm gonna expose this. You guys are gonna help me. And they said, we're not gonna help you. We'll get killed right along with you. And I said, well, I'm going to do it alone. And they said, don't ask us for help. And I said, I'm sending people to you with lie detector tests. Lie on it. You go to jail. And then they're looking around as clones saying, we don't want to lie on a lie detector test, right? I said, well, I'm welcoming all lie detector tests. And we're going to lie it up. Or we're going to line it up, these lie detector tests, and everything's going to get proven.
So have you taken a lie detector test yet?
Not yet, no. I haven't had one available. But the thing is, it's so widespread, the corruption stuff. It's even bigger than what you truthers think that it is. It's, they have police and doctors and everything there loyal so that they can have clone sex with like a Britney Spears or an Angelica Jolie or something, and while they're sleeping, because they're like, what are we doing when we're sleeping? It's a big waste of time. We can go there and have lots of fun. So, but it's a terrible, diabolical, nefarious place. I've seen all kinds of stuff. Oh, the Picton murders up in Canada, with that guy that killed all the hookers. That was set up by them. They videotaped all the murders. They used to clone Picton into the place and had him running around talking to him, and he felt like he was like a celebrity, right? Anyway, he used to smash them with a ball-peen hammer. Now, I'll tell you who was there, and this is how I know everything, okay? When I was 5, they brought me there to be used as what they call a diddle kid, okay? But all I'd do was cry and stuff. So they said, do you have any other kind of use? Do you sing or dance or something? So anyway, when I was 5, to keep them off me, I started singing like original songs there, just right out of the blue. It turns out the first one, people liked it, and they had a famous person use it, and then they came back for more, and I made more, and other people came back wanting to hear more. It was just a kid that was making these songs, right, for free, because they never paid me. Nobody knew, right? Totally foolproof. So anyway, lots of people, famous, high-profile people went there. I'm kind of apprehensive to say even Well, people that know me know who I'm talking about, but they're the highest profile people go to these cloning centers, and they wanted to see this kid that was making a song. Well, Tila Tequila started to come out and talk about them. She went on her radio blog show. She said, in the cloning centers and the things you guys do to children. But the thing is, well, they told her at the cloning center not to do it, not to help me, because they're trying to play me off as a joke that people will spoof it or make fun and say, oh, they're cloning people, they don't have that technology yet. Well, they really do. I'll tell you right now all about it. You won't hear this from anybody else because they're all scared of dying, but they're not going to kill me because I'll tell you why later, and it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
When it comes to human cloning, there are a ton of theories surrounding celebrities, from Dave Chappelle to Kanye West and even Eminem. The list just goes on and on. In fact, it's so long that if I was to cover every single one, this documentary will have to be done in several different parts. So for now, I'm only going to talk about 3 celebrities who have possibly been cloned. But before I do, I really want to make y'all aware of the theme of cloning and cloning centers and how they continue to show up in Hollywood. It seems to be that the elite are using predictive programming to prepare us for the arrival of human cloning. Soon you may have the option to transfer your consciousness into a clone instead of dying. In a new Netflix show called Altered Carbon, they play with this ideal from beginning to end. In the future, cloning is so natural that almost everybody is cloned, including prisoners. Clone bodies are known as sleeves. The rich is allowed to buy any type of clone body of their choosing, and the poor are only allowed whatever is available. There are even people on this show who were protesting against cloning. Some people wanted to live natural lives and die, but the government would still transfer their consciousness into another sleeve or clone, playing God and taking away the free will of man. Even the most famous sci-fi movie has played with this ideal on more than one occasion, the big one being Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. A bounty hunter by the name of Jango Fett, father to the most famous bounty hunter in the galaxy, Boba Fett, was recruited to be used to make a clone army for the Republic. When Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi finally figures out that an alien race on the planet Kamino were cloning this bounty hunter, they gave him the official tour of their cloning facility. They informed the Jedi Master that they have a technique called growth acceleration that was used to make the clones age at twice the rate of a normal human. Is it possible the Illuminati has the ability to do the same thing? We don't know, but what we do know is that this movie probably broke the hearts of some of Boba Fett's fans when they found out he was just an unaltered clone that never had any growth acceleration, so he was allowed to age naturally. Hollywood would like you to believe that cloning can only be done in a galaxy far, far away, when they may actually be doing it right here and now on this little blue planet, our plane called Earth. Cloning in movies is nothing new. Hollywood has been preparing us for a long time, from Alien Resurrection to Resident Evil Extinction, Star Trek Nemesis, and let's not forget everyone's favorite little clone, Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Although we see this programming over and over again, we rarely give it much thought. Remember that time that Cat Williams exposed the fact that the FDA approved the sale of clone meat to the public? I'm sure most people thought he was joking, but it's actually right on the website of FDA.gov, stating that based on the final risk assessment, a report written by FDA scientists and issued on January of 2008, the FDA has concluded that meat and milk from cow, pig, and goat clones and the offspring of any animal clones are as safe as food we eat every day.
See, I was high when I originally saw the story. So I waited all the way till I came down to re-look at the story, and it still fucking said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. Ain't that about a god? You raggedy motherfuckers would feed.
One of the most interesting theories about a clone celebrity I found was about comedian Dave Chappelle. Some unknown person claiming to be a very close relative for Dave Chappelle made some startling allegations about Dave being cloned. Unfortunately, Her interview about it is so long that we don't have time to play the full thing. Fortunately, here on Up TV, we already created a video exposing the truth about Dave Chappelle with the full interview from this person claiming to be his cousin. Link to the video could be found in the description of this video. But what about the most famous basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan? Watch this clip of Dick Gregory explaining that Michael Jordan was cloned and replaced. He claims the real Michael Jordan died a long time ago.
Any of y'all so stupid you don't know 99% of the sports games is fixed? Huh? You don't know that? There's something wrong. Fixed. It's $100 trillion industry, and they give these punk black sons of yours $100 million and at death they ain't opened up nothing. They don't own nothing. Huh? Michael Jordan was living in his car, broke the last 2 years before they killed him. Huh? But they play all that stuff up and play all that up. Genius. Steal everything. Everything. And then you look at people that's here with us. Huh? People have done more. I know people sitting in here now have done more for the humanities than 98% of all black and white football players, athletes, and entertainers. But y'all think they somebody? And you let your children go play? For years, niggas couldn't play with Ole Miss. And now they can play with it. And when President Obama got elected, Ole Miss had a riot, and they had to bring in the real police. Killed 34 white folks, and nobody printed it.
A YouTuber by the name of Vrillix has released a bunch of celebrity cloned and replaced videos. Please check out his channel, as he usually posts, in my opinion, some of the best conspiracy videos on YouTube. One of my favorites was how he broke down the truth about Eminem. Take a moment and check this out.
The most common form of predictive programming for clone celebrities is the alter ego, and is an attempt at familiarizing the public with seeing multiple versions of an individual. The idea is to pass of the frequent changes experienced by clones, such as appearance, behavior, personality, and sound, as choices made by the individual as a different character they portray. Slim Shady is Eminem's self-identifying alter ego. Throughout his career, Eminem has maintained this alter ego. Eminem has even been quoted saying that he blames Slim Shady for all the problems between him and his family. Another common trend for clone celebrities is erratic behavior. Clones only possess a limited lifespan, and once they begin to deteriorate, you often see malfunctions from the clone, which manifest in the media in the form of strange behavior. Eminem has had several incidents like this, the most popular being in 2013 on ESPN, where after a debut of his track Berserk, they cut back to what appeared to be an unresponsive Eminem in the middle of some kind of malfunction. One of the most common places for predictive programming is music videos. Music videos are often viewed as simply expressions or commonly disregarded as ultimately meaningless. This is not the case. Music videos are used as means to mask predictive programming as a simple entertainment to the unaware masses. The Real Slim Shady. The video for this track contains clear predictive programming. Even the title of the track is a huge clue, implying multiple versions of Eminem. The video clip ends up having Eminem rapping inside a warehouse, surrounded by hundreds of Eminem clones passing by in the background on a series of conveyor belts. This song also contains some interesting lyrics worth noting, such as, "There's a million others just like me," "The next best thing but not quite me," "All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating." Rap God. The same can be said for Eminem's Rap God, which contains heavy predictive programming, with an overall theme of transhumanism and immortality. The video begins with an immediate clue. It shows Eminem posing as Max Headroom. Max Headroom was a fictional British artificial intelligence television character from the 1980s, set in a near future dominated by television and large corporations. The AI of Max Headroom was created from the consciousness of a crusading journalist who fell into a coma after a vehicle accident. Doesn't this reference seem to be a little bit more than just a coincidence? This is a show referring to the downloading of consciousness of a dead individual in order to maintain their vital role in society. Why would they pick such an obscure show to reference? Are they trying to tell us something? The video goes on to show a robotic android of Eminem, which is plugged into the front of some mind transfer technology, once again referring to the downloading of consciousness. At points in the video, it even shows two different Eminems rapping at each other. This seems like another bizarre coincidence to put in the video, accompanied by all the transhumanism references. This song also contains a wealth of suspicious lyrics that, when accompanied with the video, become hard to dismiss. Lyrics such as, "I rap like a robot," "A computer must be in my genes," "The key to immortality, like I have got," "I'm omnipotent," "I'm the Walking Dead," "I'm morphin' into an immortal," "You're assuming I'm a human," "I'm superhuman." Some more notable lyrics from other songs are, "I hung my original self from the top bunk with a belt, from my name is," "Slim Shady, Eminem was the old initials, from Just Don't Give an F," "I said it wasn't me, I got a twin, oh my god, it's you, not again," from As the World Turns, "My brain's gone, my soul's worn, and my spirit is torn, the rest of my body's still being operated on," from Still Don't Give an F. Here's a quote from Eminem in Spin magazine that should not go ignored. "Like that cloning thing they're doing. They should hurry that up. Then I'd be able to do movies and rap and produce at the same time." My final thoughts. In the case of Eminem, once again, the evidence is overwhelming. The introduction and heavy reinforcement of the alter ego. Reoccurring themes of transhumanism in the lyrics and music videos. Within Eminem's lyrics and music videos, we find constant references to transhumanism, always accompanied with hints of death, replacement, immortality, consciousness transfer, and reincarnation. These hints are not something that should be ignored. When finding a reoccurring theme of subtle hints and strange constant references, it becomes apparent that Eminem had a message he was trying to get out. Multiple public malfunctions, accompanied with a drastic change in appearance. Alongside with multiple malfunctions, Eminem also helps highlight the truth behind celebrities and rehab. Rehab is code for reprogramming or recloning. The media always portrays erratic behavior and malfunctions as drug or alcohol related, and after a malfunction takes place or after the deterioration of a clone, the celebrity normally disappears from the public eye into rehab, resurfacing a few months later with an entirely new look and personality, often appearing to get younger as they age. All this evidence combined makes for an overwhelming case for the death and replacement of Eminem.
There are many hip-hop celebrity cloning theories on the web, but none impacted the hip-hop community quite like Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane went to jail. He was fat, with the face tattoo, with the hood mentality, but when he was released, he lost all of his weight, his face tattoo was gone, it seemed as if his voice had changed, and his skin tone was a little lighter. If Gucci isn't a clone, then some of his most loyal fans' eyes must be deceiving them. True fans of Gucci even claim that he doesn't even rap the same.
I'm hearing that Gucci is a clown. I would either support or deny those accusations. Thank you so much.
That's it?
Very light.
Whose are these, honey?
These are Buseni.
Oh, they're very cute. So what made you choose this choice of jewelry today?
I wanted to go light but excessive.
Oh.
Clean but opulent.
Oh, wow. I'm loving those glasses. What are they?
They are vintage Cartier glasses.
Oh, they're breathtaking, aren't they?
Been claimed ever since because they got my back, you know what I'm saying? Learned a lot in Atlanta. Get my diction from where I speak and talk from Alabama, but get the words that I choose from Atlanta, so that make me the best rapper probably in the world right now. That's the secret of Gucci. City boy, country boy, stupid swag. I'm hearing that Gucci is a clown. I would either support or deny those accusations.
With all of this information, there is still so much to cover about human cloning, like a tweet from Nicki Minaj put out in 2016 saying, "My tears have dried, and I know that no weapon formed against me will prosper. Searching for people who can relate. Hashtag stop human cloning." Also, another rapper slash DJ named Krayshawn put out a tweet saying that she has seen the cloning centers. And last but not least, in a song called You and the Six by rapper Drake, he raps these suspicious lyrics. "I really hate wasting your time to check a clone or two, mama. It's just they cloning me, mama. Them niggas wannabes, mama. It's like I'm the one they wanna be, mama." Cloning centers, transferring consciousness. There is so much evidence pointing to the truth about human cloning. But what do you think? Sound off in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit that bell so you know when my videos will be available. As always, thank you for watching. My name is Devin Worlds, and this was Attack of the Clones.
So anyway, after World War II, the Nazis went to Antarctica and found this fucking supercomputer. And this supercomputer was I ain't got no lighter. Here we go. And so this supercomputer was already there and under the fucking ice. And it's kind of like that movie Prometheus where they go find that spaceship and it's like a supercomputer already in there. And so a part of the reason why Admiral Byrd went down there was they made it seem like he was just trying to explore Antarctica, but he was trying to go see what the fuck the Nazis was doing, and he got his ass turned back. If you look at that interview, it looks like he's not really telling the truth about what he saw. Like you can tell something is like on his heart when he's talking. Like go look at that interview about Admiral Byrd. And so basically, the Nazis coming to America and South America is what started Operation Paperclip, and it's what started the CIA and the NSA. And so the Central Intelligence Agency is actually like all of the major Hollywood studios. They're actually the CIA, and that's why all this information gets put into these movies. It's sort of like a soft disclosure, sort of like a predictive programming. I don't know, but like, you ever see these movies and it's just like, why the fuck are these secrets in this fucking movie? And it's like, that's why the CIA is behind it. And it's not even just like behind it, like they literally are Hollywood.
Thank you for watching Up TV. If you like this video and would love to see more, check out these great videos here, and don't forget to subscribe to Up TV and Up TV 2 for even more great videos.